Jets fans. Oh my goodness, here we are. Happy Monday to you. What do we say anymore? What do we say anymore? What do we say anymore? I can't even conjure up the expressive appropriateness for how I feel right now. Now, admittedly, I'm recording this only a few minutes after the game, so I'm still a little bit dejected. I almost said confused, but I'm not confused. I mean, it's like this is the stuff. This is the stuff we see. The Jets lose to the Chiefs 23-20. And it sucks, quite frankly. So we'll talk about why that is in today's episode. This is episode 133 of GreenBean's Jets Pod. And believe me when I tell you, I'm happy you're here. I am. I'm happy that you chose to stop by. This is a tough one. Now, if you would have told me before the game, and we say this kind of stuff all the time, but I'll say it. If you would have told me before the game that the Jets are going to, have a really good fighting game, it's going to be a game the whole way through, we're going to lose by 3 in the last minute and a half, especially after we played last week and everything, I might have said, all right, well, that's all I can ask for, right, with Zach Wilson and everything going on. And if it was a clean game and everything, maybe I would be okay with that. Hey, we fought hard, and with just you win some, you lose some, right? That would be okay. But that's not what happened, you see. It's not what happened. It is what happened, but it's not what happened. There's a thread going through this one that is, quite frankly, a load of BS. And it's getting tiresome. It's getting tiresome. The Jets seem to have to overcome more than anybody should have to overcome, and more than most, if not all. And it's getting old. Isn't it getting old? It's getting old. And, I try to be positive all the time, and I'm gonna point out quite a few positives in this one. But the feelings are tough. The feelings are tough. We had a great live stream. We had a little bit of a robust episode of our game watch party because it was Sunday Night Football, so we had Ryan there with us, and we had Jeremy, as always, and Dom C was there with us, Matt O'Leary at halftime. Great time. All the guys, we were in high spirits. We were watching a football game, which was nice to see. But I'm going to say it. We got robbed. It was stolen. This game was stolen from the New York Jets, and it's got to stop. The whole controlling the game with the referees has to stop already. Enough, NFL. It has to stop. We see it time and time again. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw it, and then the NFL, we're really sorry, that actually wasn't a penalty. Oh, you mean the penalty that forced us into giving up a touchdown? That we held them, but you gave them the touchdown? That one? Thank you for the apology. It makes us feel just so much better. It really does. Now, would we have won that game? Probably not. We were getting beat up. But there was a lot of pieces to that game, and that was a big one. Momentum. All those things are very, very real in football. You know it, I know it. Momentum is real. We saw it in the game against the Chiefs. Momentum. When the offense can do something, what does the defense look like? It looks like a completely different team. When our defense is consistently on the field, we end up holding them, sending the offense back on the field, and 3 plays later after a punt, on the 4th play, then the defense is back on in 3-4 minutes. It takes the away. When you can give the offense the ball and they can run back and they can orchestrate a nice drive, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, and get in the end zone, the defense comes on the field fired up. It's a whole different thing. And when you steal that, it changes the dynamic of the game. The truth is, the Chiefs don't get where they got without the referees. That's the truth. And yes, the Jets got some penalties, but they were legit. The Jets were held. Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, they were held almost every single play. And some more egregious than others. And I'm willing to let holds go. I am. If they don't impact the play. If they're over here running on the left side and the guy on the right holds, whatever, you don't need to call that. It is what it is. But when the play can't happen without the hold, it needs to be called. Fair enough? Before we get into what I'm specifically talking about, I do want to remind you of our sponsors for this show. First, we'll talk about these guys right here. Liquid IV, the hydration multiplier and energy multiplier. Quite literally the finest in hydration drinks on the market today. You can use the promo code GreenBean'sJetsFan. The link is in the description underneath the video and save yourself 15% on your order. The stuff's not cheap because it's good. It's the real deal. Save some money on it using GreenBean'sJetsFan promo code. And don't forget about the all-natural testosterone booster Testosil that is giving you $10 off your first bottle and a free bottle when you use the promo code GreenBean. GreenBean'sJetsFan for Liquid IV, GreenBean for Testosil. Guys, it's the best deals out there. If you're looking for a testosterone booster, go with the all-natural, go with the discount, go with the free bottle, and if you don't like it, go with the full, no questions asked, money-back guarantee from Testosil. The links to both of those are in the description of this very video. Happy purchasing, and thank you to both our sponsors. Now, guys, I'm talking specifically about this play. I'm going to put this up here for you. This is in the fourth quarter, third down, 3rd and 22. 3rd and 22. Why did we get to 22? Because the Kansas City Chiefs cannot stop our defensive line without holding. They couldn't do it. There was a hold on every single play. And again, you let some of them go. Who even cares? If it's not impacting the play, fine. No biggie. Should be called, but you get it. It's fine. But Jermaine Johnson was held so incredibly egregiously. It was one of the more egregious holds I've ever seen. He was turned completely around. He never let go of his jersey. Never. And Patrick Mahomes was able to run right by him. Jermaine Johnson would have got him. Bryce Huff chased him right into where Jermaine Johnson was. He would have got him. And he runs for the first down and does his little, hey, I'm awesome dance. It doesn't happen. They give us the ball back. Now, there's no guarantee we would have scored or anything, right? We don't know. But the Jets offense didn't look like the offense that we had in the Patriots game. We were able. As a matter of fact, without some key mistakes, a la maybe the Michael Carter drop, that's a good example. Zach Wilson, I must tell you, played a damn good game. Looked very Zach Wilson-esque in the first quarter. We were grim. We were not feeling good. He looked very much like he was just going to give us the same output that he did in the Pats game. But that was not the case. As a matter of fact, the Chiefs scored 17 points in the first quarter and scored 6 points the rest of the game. So 6 points in 3 quarters. Now, I want to be completely transparent here. They could have scored a touchdown at the very end and made it look worse. And the game would have still been out of hand. Like, we're not, they could have given us the ball back with a minute and a half left. We're not, we're not going to score 2 touchdowns. But you play the odds. You don't give the Jets the opportunity to score, get an onside kick and score. I get it. You keep control of the ball. So that was smart. So they could have scored a touchdown there, but it wasn't a smart move, and they did it the right way. But again, they're not down there. Now, I'm only talking about so far the egregious hold on Jermaine Johnson that wasn't called, that enabled them 3rd and 22. That's a wrap. We had them. We had them. The refs gave that to them. He had nowhere to go with the ball, and we had him corralled. And without the hold, he does not get out of that, and we get him. I'm going to point something else out, too, about the NFL while I'm at it, before I get to the other bullshit call. Remember the DJ Reed coming in hot at Patrick Mahomes? We chased him over to the sideline. He had nowhere to go with the ball because of the coverage. He's standing on the field. He's got the ball in his hand. DJ Reed comes up running what looked like 50 miles an hour, and he doesn't kill him. Why? Why do you think? I'm going to share with you. I said it in the stream, and I want to thank all 1,250 of you that were with us tonight. Or yesterday, last night. I want to thank all you guys. It was a great time, and I'm glad that you all hang out with us for these streams because it's better together, man. That much I can say. Alone, I would be suicidal, probably. The reason... Well, let me say this. When I saw him running full speed, he had the ball in his hand. Patrick Mahomes was still holding the ball, and he was still in the field to play, and DJ Reed could have hit him at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I still thought in my heart, don't do it. Why? Because of the way the NFL calls the game. No matter what happened, Patrick Mahomes would have tossed it real quick, and we would have got a roughing the passer penalty. And he would have been fined and everything else. So DJ Reed pulled up. And it's sad to see. Because what should have happened there is DJ Reed should have ran in full bore, lowered his shoulder into Patrick Mahomes' belly, and drove him back with his arms around his thighs. He should have pushed him in the air 8 yards and drove him into the damn turf. That's what should have happened and what used to happen when I used to watch a game called football back in the day. That's what would have happened. And we would have cheered it, and there wouldn't have been even the thought of a flag. Now, you can't do that to Patrick Mahomes. They would have thrown, if he would have gotten the ball out of his hand, a split second, they would have called it. And DJ Reed knew it, and it was smart not to do it because of the way the NFL calls the game, and it's sad to see because that's another game changer. You level a quarterback like that, but we don't see that anymore, especially when it's a good quarterback. If it was Zach Wilson, no problem. Mike White, no issue. No issue. But you can't do that to Patrick Mahomes. Now, here's the other really game-changing call. So not in the same drive, by the way, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's not. I feel like it is. Remember, this is the end of the game. We're trying to get off the field. They've already elongated the drive. It's like a 10-minute drive where they're crushing the entire fourth quarter. We get an interception. Why? Because we're in Patrick Mahomes' face and he's rattled and everything else. We get the interception. Now, they call a holding on Sauce Gardner, which it could be called. His arm was across his chest, and he did tug the jersey for a split second. Generally speaking, that's never called. And it wasn't called until Michael Carter intercepted the ball. Then they threw the flag. Once it was going to be an interception, it was right as he was up and catching it. The referee dug into his pocket and threw the flag. Why? Because they were not going to take the ball from Patrick Mahomes. They were not going to put it in the Jets' hands to steal the game that they already wanted the result the way they wanted it. They weren't going to do that. And we saw it right before our eyes. That was the end of their drive. We had all the momentum in the world, and we were down by 3. 3 points. Again, no guarantee we score, right? But they didn't want to give us that chance, and they stole it. That's not even to mention the obvious intentional grounding. It's got to be out of the pocket, okay? to be an errant pass, like to be, where no receiver is or whatever. So he's in the pocket. He was in the box. He throws the ball. There was a receiver in that direction, but it's got to be within 5 yards or make it past the line of scrimmage. Didn't do any of that. Robert Saleh was screaming and yelling, and they're like, dude, you're not getting it. It's not happening. They would not do that because it takes the drive away from them. It takes the down away. So you look at this stuff. It's crap. Quite frankly, it's crap. And here's what I think happened. They were not going to have Taylor Swift and her droves of minions in that stadium. They were not going to have that be a down. They were going to, dude, they want her around. They were able to raise ticket prices 43% and sell them all to all the Swifties and everybody else that came to the game. They were not going to do that and show that new, fresh batch of potential dollars. They were not going to have them do that and leave on a down note. Wasn't happening. And they made the result take place that they wanted to take place. And it's bullshit. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. It's just too much. Now, it's one thing, you get blown out, you get blown out. You get outclassed, you get outclassed. But that's not what happened. The Jets, in my opinion, outplayed the Chiefs tonight. Zach Wilson outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Well, let's take a look. Patrick Mahomes, 18 for 30, 203 yards with a 6.8 yard average. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, should have been 3. Sacked once for 6 yards. Zach Wilson, 28 for 39, 245 yards, 6.3 yard average, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Sacked twice for 17 yards. Patrick Mahomes' quarterback rating, 63.6. Zach Wilson, 105.2. If you would have told me that was going to happen, I would have laughed till I vomited. But it happened. That's what happened. Now, the Chiefs' running game was significantly more successful than us, and that takes some of the reason to use Patrick Mahomes' arm away. But it's not like they didn't try. He had 30 dropbacks. He only completed 16 passes. So 14 of those pass attempts, he was getting chased all over the place or what have you. Incomplete, interceptions, all that sort of stuff. C.J. Mosley dropped another one. Could have been 4 picks tonight. Could have. And it was 3. C.J. Mosley did end up getting his interception, which is nice to see. Maybe he shook off Jamal Adams-ism. Maybe he'll catch these now because that's his third. Before he caught the pick, that was his 3rd straight dropped interception in as many weeks, or 4 weeks actually. So 3 dropped picks in 4 weeks for CJ, and it was right in his hands. So he ended up catching one. So maybe maybe we can look forward to him not getting in his head about it. You know what I mean? When the ball comes and he keep dropping them, then you start thinking. You don't want him to think. But Pacheco had an impressive night, 20 for 115 and a touchdown, but he also had 43 yards receiving as well. So he had a nice, 158 yards and a touchdown tonight. So he had a good night. Travis Kelce, I mean, believe it or not, he had 6 for 60. He was held in check. I was bracing for the Travis Kelce show. I was bracing for 10 for a $115 and 2 touchdowns. That's what I was bracing for. But we got 6 for 60, no touchdowns for Travis Kelce. So pretty good night as far as containing him. Good game plan. Now, it's one of those things, right? Like, so you see Patrick Mahomes' numbers were down a tick because Pacheco was doing a good job running. The Jets, they didn't run quite as much, 16 attempts. The Chiefs had 35 rushing attempts. The Jets had 16, But that's because Zach Wilson threw the ball 39 times, and he was doing a great job. He was doing a great job. Okay? Now, I hate moral victories. I do. I hate it. But sometimes a moral victory is exactly what. Now, a victory would have been better, no doubt, and they stole it from us. Again, no guarantee that we go down and score. But they made sure we didn't have the opportunity, and that is stealing the game from us. And it sucks. But when you got a team that's kind of swirling, where we lose, where we can't come back from 3 points last week. We scored 10 points the whole game. When it's getting real negative and the Vipers are, the Vultures are circling overhead, and everybody's saying, "Oh, there's rifts in the locker room and all that stuff, blood in the water, so to speak." When you come out and you play a game like this on Sunday night, it is a moral victory. Aaron Rodgers was back in the house. I honestly think that helps Zach. I think Zach feels better with Aaron Rodgers around. He wasn't ready. He wasn't supposed to come in play 5 of the season. He was supposed to come in maybe one game, week 13, something like that, if at all. He wasn't supposed to play. So to go in there against the reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, with the whole place flooded with Chiefs fans and Swifties. Taylor Swift is there, Ryan Reynolds. Everybody's there to watch Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and they wanted to have a big party. So to see us get down by 17 and fight back and only let them score 6 points the rest of the game is a big effing deal. And let me tell you, the fact that Zach Wilson was able to get his team into the end zone numerous times. He did have the broken touchdown, the missed opportunity to Garrett Wilson in the end zone. Let me tell you, 6 inches, man. And Garrett Wilson has that thing. It wasn't a terrible pass, but it was too much. The pass by Conklin in the end zone, dude, that's all Conklin. It was not the easiest play. You're a professional tight end. You had both of your hands around it. You're supposed to catch it. I don't give a damn. You're supposed to catch it. That's 2 touchdowns right there that ended up being field goals. One of them was a missed field goal, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. But we had the missed field goal, so that's something else. So there's the 3 points. So do you see it? Like if those 2 touchdowns, I know if, shoulda, woulda, I get it. But when you are able to put that together and lose by 3 to the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, it is a moral victory. And it is important to take that into Denver, who lost by 70 last week and snuck one out against the Bears 31-28 this week. So going into Denver, they're coming off a big victory. Coming off another game where at this game, it looked to me like we were going to get blown out 50-0. That's what it looked like. It looked like a 45-3 type of a game. So it's important. Now, all that said, what does it all mean? I don't know what it means. Can Zach pull off 2 games in a row? Did we watch him kind of shake it off? Did the Jets kind of stop playing safe ball with Zach Wilson? That's what it looked like. We saw a more creative game plan. Some of the creative plays didn't work. The jet sweeps didn't work. The flea flicker didn't work, but I love seeing it. I love it. Keep doing it, man. Don't have one fail and then just get all scared and don't do it again. Zach Wilson did much better with the looser game plan. And you saw it. Once he started connecting with some of the deeper routes, Conklin, Uzoma, Garrett Wilson. Once that started happening, what happened to the box? Did you see it? All of a sudden, they started taking 3, 4, 5 steps back. Why? Because they're getting burned by it. And that's what has to happen. If Zach Wilson shows these teams, I can beat you with my arm. If you're going to put 8 and 9 in the box, I'm going to beat you. Then they'll stop doing it, and that's when the running game will thrive again. Brees had a nice big run today. It was good to see. One guy to lose, and he didn't do it, but it was still a great run. Brees had 6 for 56, which is a 9.3 yard average, obviously built on that long run. But I don't know, man. Michael Carter had 1 rush for 9 yards. Dalvin Cook had 5 for 16, his best night. But the Michael Carter versus I just think Dalvin Cook needs to be a backup to the backup. That's what I think at this point. It's clear to me. I don't know about you. I'm about done with the Dalvin Cook experiment. I like having him on the roster. If, worst comes to worst, at least it's Dalvin Cook. But come on, man. He shouldn't be getting touches over Michael Carter. Even though Michael Carter had that big-ass drop, which would have been a first down, and the blah, 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 blah. But Lazard had 3 for 61. Garrett Wilson had 9 for 60. Lazard had a touchdown as well. Tyler Conklin had 4 for 58. Ruckert got in the game. That's good to see. 2 for 26. Brees Hall had 3 catches for 13. Michael Carter still had 2 catches for 12 with the big drop. Randall Cobb, Xavier Gibson had 1 for 4. But Xavier Gibson had 2 rushes for 13 yards. Had a nice big one around the left end toward the end zone. Shook a few guys. Dude, you got to get your speed on the field. You got to get these guys on the field, man. You got to get them on the field. I'm still wondering where Mecole Hardman is. I mean, dude, this stage was set for him to come in and just burn. So he would have been juiced. I don't know what that is. There's got to be something there that we don't know. Who knows what it is? I don't know. CJ Uzomah had 1 catch for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. We'll take it. CJ Uzomah. It was a great catch, too, by the way. So there it is. The missed tackles got to stop, particularly Jordan Whitehead. I don't know what this guy's deal is. Quincy Wilson played possessed. CJ Mosley looked fantastic tonight. A lot of really nice plays. One of the tackles behind the line, I think, was CJ Mosley's finest play of the year so far. And I was happy with the linebacker play today. I really was. So I hope you're able to organize this. I hope the Jets are able to put this together as a platform to build on. Go in there and beat Denver. Give Philly a run for their money. Maybe even squeak out a victory there. Go into the bye on a high note and come out into the softer-ish section of the schedule. And who knows, maybe even Aaron Rodgers comes back. But if we can get Zach playing like a big boy, it's going to change everything, man. Maybe bringing on an actual real backup motivated him too. Bring on somebody, even though it's only Trevor Siemian, he's still somebody that can play in the NFL. And Zach started saying, wow, man, I'm really going to lose my job. It's not just Tim Boyle behind me anymore. I look better than Tim Boyle. So, hey, Aaron Rodgers back in the building. Trevor Siemian behind him, lighting a fire under his ass. Let's go, Zach Wilson. Nothing would make me happier than for Zach Wilson to be an actual NFL quarterback. Top 20. That's all we need, kid. That's all we need. That all said, I hope you have a great week. I'm going to go to bed. I got to be at work in like 3 hours, so I got to go to bed. I love you guys. I hope you're okay. We'll talk next time, and as always, go Jets.